Hey, this is Attorney Walter of Hnot the Third. We're going to be going ahead and redoing a couple of these questions because when they exported from Final Cut Pro, we had an issue with the actual system. So let's go right into 76 of the top 200 Social Security Disability hearing questions. Here we go. How do you transport yourself to locations when not walking, such as doctor appointments? Okay, so first off, I just want to go through, this is kind of a setup question because they're going to go into other things like, where else do you go? Do you go to, places that you have hobbies? Do you go bowling? Do you go ahead and go mountain climbing? Do you go ahead and do all these other things? So this is kind of a startup question to lead you into other locations. But the bottom line is, let's go back to the beginning of it. How do you transport yourself to locations when not walking? So when not walking, we're looking at bicycles, motorcycles, cars, buses, cabs, things like that. Now, if you're a part of a city area, they're going to be looking more into the bus and the cab system. If you're into more of a rural area, we're looking into more of the situation when it comes to, for example, driving a car, driving a truck, using a motorcycle, maybe a bicycle. So that's kind of what we're looking at with that. So the whole point of this is to understand your capacity to go ahead and sit in a car or be transported for an extended period. If we go into like the public transportation thing, sweetie, out of there. If we go into the public transportation thing, then they're looking into, okay, well, do you have the ability to go ahead and listen to the person in the bus who's telling you where to go, an authority figure? Do you have the ability to go ahead and be around others because you're in close proximity in a bus? Do you have the ability to go ahead and figure out with directions, okay, I go from here, and then I go from here, and then I go from here, and I have to do these 3 stops, and I have to transfer here, and things like this. So do you have the ability to go ahead and follow instructions? So those are basically the things that equate to what they're looking for from the question, like number 76 of the top 200 Social Security Disability hearing questions. So that's kind of what you have to think about, understand, and know for that type of question. I do have 2 pick. Yep, there he is. Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about that. How do you transport yourself to locations when not walking? Let's go ahead and get this baby up here. Okay, all right. All right, so how do you transport yourself to locations when you're not walking? So the whole idea here is they're not gauging how far you can walk, but they are gauging essentially how long you can sit in another vehicle or, pedal a bicycle. If you have back problems, you're able to go ahead and sit for more than 30 minutes, more than 45 minutes, more than an hour, then in that particular situation, you can go ahead, sweetie, no. Bad muffin, no. So what that means is that basically you can go ahead and sit for an extended period, and therefore you could potentially do what's called a sedentary job. Because remember, sedentary jobs are all about the whole, 6 out of 8 you're sitting. So that's the whole gig there. All right, we're going to go on to question 77 of the top 200 Social Security Disability hearing questions. I'll catch up with you a little bit later, and we will go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.